go.
Hello, everyone. Here we are. Gabriel Speaks with my beautiful wife, Lynn. We had a long kind of
Hiatus.
because things happened.
We had a bunch of health things. Don't get old, but then don't consider doing the alternative either. So anyway, we make the best of it that we can, and we are back. And don't think we forgot about our little Gabriel Speak episodes. We thought we would actually do them to each other. We would actually discuss some of the things that we wanted to discuss with one another. And today, I'm going to talk about something that's going to be really hard for me to talk about because
It's emotional.
Let me start by this. My buzzword is freedom. And throughout the Bible, the Jewish nation was always seeking freedom from whatever host community they were in. They were always seeking freedom. Somehow in 1948, I guess they think they got it, but now they're surrounded by enemies. In any case, I think also about the last stanza, the last verse and the last stanza of America the Beautiful, where it exhorts us to preserve our souls in self-control and our liberty through law. Now, we've spoken before about the fact that the Founding Fathers were very steeped in the Bible. And their discussions, they learned by the Bible. They learned to read. Their children learned to read. And they were very much guided by principles in the Bible. Wrong or right sometimes. They took them to different extents, sometimes to almost hysterical extents. But they came up with a beautiful, beautiful piece of work in the United States Constitution. And if we follow that, it took them a while. I'm acknowledging, of course, there were mistakes. Of course, there was slavery. Every single country on earth has had slavery, and many still do. I don't downplay it. You don't downplay things like that or the Holocaust. We're an imperfect country, but we can't be that bad because people are dying to get here, literally dying. Anyway, my point is we should be a country of laws. God is orderly. His mind is orderly. And we are his creatures, every single one of us. Every single one of us are his creatures. And freedom is a right that comes from God. And freedom of speech is mentioned. The very first thing when the Founding Fathers got together, the very first thing that was important to them was freedom. Freedom to speak. And I believe in my heart that I have that freedom to speak, yet I feel somehow threatened. If I have freedom to speak, how is it that I can have a bank account in the country of Canada that can be frozen if I am in sympathy with a protest, with what has been an absolutely peaceful protest? How is it that people can have in this day and age, in what we call a free country, I can be a dual citizen and be living here and have a bank account in Canada and be warned that if I support their freedom convoy, I can have my funds frozen. That's scary.
Yeah, now they're saying that freedom is a buzzword for white supremacy.
We should be white supremacists. We're two generations moved from the desert.
I don't get what's going on. What?
You have to watch what you say, honey, or else you will be labeled a Nazi, a racist, and a white supremacist. These are words that started coming into the mainstream in the last couple of years. We have made so much progress. Go ahead, I interrupted you.
Well, I mean, the Prime Minister of Canada
Now that's the thing that can get our bank account frozen if you
is
criticize.
considered to be a very close friend. In fact, we helped very much launch his career as we gave him his first office in our church
And we're proud to do
for over
that.
six weeks, and we've had myriads of conversations about the global situation. And do you know, just when I said that word, it struck me. The biggest thing today is whether you're a globalist or whether you're, quote unquote, a nationalist.
We're ruled by. Do you know what the definition of a plutocrat is? A plutocrat is somebody whose power derives from his wealth. The age of Victoria was very, the aristocracy, the plutocrats very much ruled, and that the globalist plutocrats are in charge of our lives, basically now. Is there one ruler of any country, or is there one party ruler, one group of rulers in any country that is poor?
Oh no, God forbid.
I mean, the elite rule the country, and the elite rule the world. And people forget about plutocrats. You know, they're not all Jeeves. They're not all the bumbling Jeeves. They're.
You know, this is what happens when you replace God by government. And this is what's happened.
And the word freedom, which is the basis, which is God created us and gave us free will. We can do anything we want. So why should somebody with lots of money tell me?
It's philosophy and socio-political nonsense extracted from any spirituality.
Which philosophy are you talking about?
Current utilitarian philosophy that runs the secularist.
Go ahead.
It's extracted from any kind of spirituality or concept of God.
And there's a kind of the thing that's creeping is a kind of mediocrity. Everybody should be mediocrity. Even Kurt Vonnegut wrote a story where very lovely women had to put thick glasses on and somehow, I don't know, get bad skin and milestones around their neck and so forth, so everybody could be equal. We are created equal, and don't mess with it. Don't mess with God's creation, unless they want to be messed with. But I hate communism, I hate socialism, I hate what they are. And people are, I'm not in love with Putin, okay? But he restored the church. There's something okay there. There's something that can be reasoned with. Nobody who loves God can be evil. Our president has said he looked into his eyes and saw no soul. The man's a believer. You know, I don't want to live in Russia. I don't want anything to do with it. I never want to live anywhere but in the United States, the free United States, as it is, has been, and is going to be once we stop meddling in client states and affairs that don't concern us, and take care of ourselves. The law says we have to take care of our people. Where are we going with this? I guess I kind of wanted to rant because I feel as though I don't know how to be woke. I make lots of mistakes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This idea of woke.
The church isn't very woke.
Where the hell did they come up with that expression woke?
I don't know.
And that if you don't agree with me, you're diminished.
Well, I did have another whole. I may do it yet. I may call Justin and see if it's okay if I won't get my bank account frozen. At 81, it's a big deal. Years ago, I would have gone ahead and be damned the consequences, but not afraid to say I'm afraid. I wish I weren't a coward. That doesn't mean I don't trust God. I don't always like what he has in store for me, but I accept it because there's something better beyond. I just want to get that part first. How do you feel about it?
I just wish that our political leaders in the West would wake up
to their freedoms.
To their freedoms. You know, see, the problem is, that's not the problem. They figure they got to build some kind of a legacy. So they're in it for themselves and not for the people. And that's a terrible way to run a government. That the people are really not your concern. What is your concern is your power. Your pouvoir.
And Gen X doesn't know history. They have no idea why they are woke. It's an attention getter. I didn't necessarily mean for this to be a political commentary, but
it's not political.
To connect it to freedom. I wanted to connect it to freedom. And
freedom is a virtue that emanates from the divine Godhead.
Well, it's a right that we're given that men try to take away. And I think we're going to. I read numerous scriptures until I was because I wanted to. I'm telling you now, I broke that off. Okay, going in different directions. Don't want to do that. I want seriously to see about being able to define exactly what happened, why so many hundreds of thousands of people were willing to freeze and to defy mandates that they believed were unconstitutional, knowing that they could be punished, knowing that their livelihoods could be taken away, which is in the process of happening.
But this past couple of years have really been, I mean, you just listen to whatever, whether you're reading the paper, listening to the radio, watching the various news programs, it's all so gloom and doom. And it's awful.
And people are afraid to speak.
And if we don't have our faith, if we don't believe in God, in Jesus Christ, how can we maneuver our lives on a daily basis with any equilibrium and sanity? It must be tough raising kids today, with all the peer pressures, with all the ups and downs and in and outs. I mean, look what's happened in all the schools. It's terrible.
And our fearless globalist leaders let the strip shows and bars stay open while they closed the schools and the churches. Clergymen in Canada arrested.
Time to get back to the basics, my friends. A clarion call to all Orthodox Christians.
Let's work on defining the basics.
And all faithful
Let's
Christians.
work in the next episode. Well, not the next episode, but next week when we start making episodes again. Let's work on defining some of the basics.
Certainly. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit,
Amen.
one God. Amen. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button on your iPad, your iPhone, or whatever. Put also the subscribe button. Please subscribe and push the notification so you'll know when we do these videos when they come out. Thumbs up, subscribe, notification. Remember those three things, and I'd be very grateful. God bless you.